Okay, so we're going to start this morning's practice. We'll get to it right now. We're going to come to a child's pose. It's going to be very brief. So you can have your knees nice and wide and your big toes together. Drop your seat. Energetically reach your arms forward. Spread your palms wide. And just connect to yourself. Like this practice, some days it's about, working really, really hard. Some days it's about just like doing the bare minimum and just showing up for yourself. So there's nowhere you need to be. Let your forehead just drop down. Spread your palms. Anchor yourself, more importantly. And just connect. Connect to your breath. And listen, Ujjayi breath is recommended. It's an inhalation through your nose and an exhalation through your nose. But let's face it, let's just breathe. Find some more space for yourself. Spread your palms, curl your toes, find your way to a downward facing dog. So in this morning's downward facing dog, what's going to happen is you're going to take your feet as wide as the mat. So my hands are as wide as the mat and my feet are as wide as the mat. And I recommend walking your feet in 2 or 3 inches shorter than you normally would do. So maybe you can find a little bit more hamstring extension. And if the heels don't make it down, that's okay. And just pause in this kind of wider position in your down dog. Let your head go. Use the breath and let the breath just move through the back side of your body all the way through the crown of the head to the ground. Feel the outer arches of the inner arches of your feet and the outer blades of your feet press down, and plug your hands down into the mat. Let your head go. Fix your eyes on something that's not moving. And I know this is really hard. So just do your best. That's all you can do. Now, keeping yourself like this, and you may need to soften behind your knees a little bit or a lot, just depends on your body. Slide your right hand somewhere along the left side of your leg. So if you've got more range of motion, you can grab closer to your ankle. That's wonderful and great. If you've got a tight lower back or tight hamstrings, you may be higher up. So, or you could be somewhere in the center. And then look underneath your left armpit. And as you do this, you're looking from right to left. Yeah. But you're staying grounded. So your hips don't move. Your body is just really aligned. And your breath is just flowing. So even get your right arm straight. Bring your eyes back down to the ground. Right hand comes back down. Pause. Left hand then feeds to the outer part of the right leg, anywhere that you can reach, that your arm can be straight, and then you're going to look underneath your right armpit. And you're looking from left to right. And you can bend behind your knees. If it's too much, it's too much. Breathe right here. Firm up your right arm, press down, plug the whole hand into the mat. Let your waist pull up, let your breath just flow. Eyes move to the floor, left hand comes down, pause. Now, keeping your hands the width of the mat, just walk your feet out to a regular down dog, but keep the feet wide. So a little bit more space. So now you're taking the regular length that you would, but your feet are wide and your hands are wide. They're matching the outer edges of your mat. And right here, you'll now roll forward to this wide plank. I like this a lot because you really fire up your core. And I want you to feel like you're pulling the mat apart. Like from the right side to the left side of the room. Yeah. Contract the thighs. Move your energy onto the balls of your tippy toes. If it's too much today, you just drop your knees, and your knees would be the width of the mat. That's it. Pull your waist up. Move your eyes forward a little and hold. Plug down. Feel the ground. And then notice if your hips start to get a little saggy. That's normally what happens here. Take the round out of your upper back, contract your thighs, hug your outer legs and your ankles in, and stay with it. Bring more weight forward. Keep your hands and your feet where they are. Just lift your hips up and back, wide down dog. Roll forward again, plank, in a wide position. So you're taking up quite a bit of space on your mat here, and you're feeling. In this wide plank position, take your right knee and draw it straight in. So your right knee draws straight in. Yep. And then slide your right foot back to the corner edge of your mat. So now you're going to try it with your left leg. Your left leg is going to draw straight in, and then you're going to slide it to the outer blade of the mat. One more time, draw the right knee in, slide it to the outer corner of the mat, left knee in, left leg back, corner edge of the mat, hips up and back, down dog. Walk your feet back to hips width distance, regular downward facing dog. Hips move up off the shoulders, head hangs free, outer arms plug in, roll forward, strong plank. It feels different, yeah. With your eyes moving forward, contract the belly, bend your elbows in half or drop your knees. Supported chaturanga, you choose. Re-straighten your arms to a plank wherever you are, your knees can be down, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Make the practice work for you this morning. No need to go, and do everything. Roll forward one more time, plank position. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Slide your chest through for an up dog or cobra or skip if your lower back is sensitive. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Look forward, step your right foot big to the front edge of your mat. You're just in this low lunge. Come to your fingertips. Feel the length and the strength of your back left leg. Your back leg is like a plank. Spring your left foot forward. Feet are hips width distance this morning. Come to the fingertips. See if you can line your fingertips up with your toes, even if you have to bend your knees a lot, or hands to your shins. Shoulders slide back into the shoulders. The shoulders slide back into the upper spine. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands come to prayer at heart. Drop your arms, get grounded, feel supported. Slide the arms up, look up a little with your eyes. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine, slide your right foot back, big step. Hands match to the earth, left foot meets plank. Elbows bend in half, or you can skip it if you're not into the push-ups today. Pull yourself through an up dog, point your toes a lot. Fire up the tops of the feet, press down. Nice, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let the breath move, let your body just, arrive. Look forward, big step with your left foot to the top. You're in a low lunge, just come to your fingertips, feel that. Spring your right foot forward to meet, hips width distance. Long spine or hands on your shins. Exhale, fold in half. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. My earplug fell out, it's kind of funny. Drop your arms, yeah. Slide the arms straight up, look up a little with your eyes. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. Big step back with your left foot. Plant your palms, right foot back plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Drag yourself through a clean up dog or baby cobra. Downward facing dog, hips press back. Deep breath in, deep breath out. So you always have the option of taking that like alternate stepping if getting to the front of the mat doesn't feel good to walk or float. Look where you want to go. You can step, or you can take 2 big steps, or you can float top of mat. Long spine right here. Fold over yourself. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Just start to link movement with breath, ladies. Stretch the arms up. Feel. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. 2 big steps. If you choose to float, you must land with bent elbows, chaturanga. Upward facing. Downward facing. Let it go. Opportunity to reset every time. Plug down with your hands. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, come all the way up. Hands to prayer at heart. Drop your arms. Here we go. One more. Slide the arms straight up. Look up a little. Dive over bent knees, forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float, you can fly, you can spring. You could crawl upward facing, downward facing dog, hips press back. In your downward facing dog, yeah, look forward with your eyes and just slide your right foot straight forward in between your hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle. From the ground up, grab your right ankle or your shin and start to come into a triangle. So triangle from the ground up, just look at your feet, make sure they're aligned. Yeah, you can always use a block too, outside a calf if you need a little bit more. But the feeling that you want here is that you're pulling up on your shin. So your arms create like side plank-like arms. Yeah. And there's a little bend in your front thigh, front knee. Yeah, and then lean back a tiny bit. It's not at all a back bend. You're working your obliques, the side of your body. You're gripping your inner and outer thighs in, and your waist is long. So you get to the pose, and then you let your body just kind of evolve into it, wherever that's going to be today. You let the breath just move, and you try your best to let your thoughts just kind of leave you. How can you soften? How can you lighten the pose? So less effort, more feeling. Feel your feet. Stay grounded. Couple more. Squeeze your inner and outer thighs. Start to look down with your eyes. You're going to circle both hands to frame your front foot. Peel your left heel. Now walk your right foot over to the right so you've got hips width distance. Tense your left hand or slide a block underneath it and come into an easy twist. Right arm extends up. Good. If the right shoulder feels a little jammed up today, you can always have your hand on the flat part of your back. Grip your right hip underneath you. Stack the two shoulders again. The twist is happening from your upper ribs. Everything else is nice and aligned. Back leg is strong and engaged. The kneecap is lifted from the ground, most likely. And the weight is moving forward. So you've got a lot of energy running through your body. Stay with the breath. Feel the weight in your front heel. Feel the contraction of your back leg. Squeeze into the center line. Look down. Place the left palm down. Lean onto the outer blade of your left foot. You can drop your knee for a supported version of this. Side plank, some variation of side plank. You can stack your 2 feet. You can align the right foot in front of the left. Right arm extends up. If something's going on in your shoulder, you can drop down to your forearm. Lift from your bottom hip. Make sure your right hip does not open. Lift a little higher. Spark up your toes. Grip your left outer arm underneath you. Plank position, pause in your plank. Pause in your plank. Lean onto your right hand, roll to the outer blade of your right foot. Stack the 2 feet. Yeah, this helps a lot with alignment if you need a little bit more. Stack the 2 shoulders, lift from your bottom hip. Look up with your eyes. Where your eyes go, your body generally wants to follow. Spark up your toes a little more. Grip that bottom hip, that bottom arm underneath you. Stay with the breath. Plank position, pause. You can stay in plank or you can bend your elbows in half, chaturanga, pausing your chaturanga. Whatever you choose, you should be able to hold. Drag yourself through an up dog or baby cobra. Press actively through your hands and the tops of the feet. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, land your left foot smack in between your hands. Turn your back foot on a strong angle and come up into triangle again. So slide your hand somewhere on the front of your shin. Keep a little bend behind your knee. Hug your outer hips in. Keep the waist long. And then look up with your eyes. Use a block if you need to. Feel your feet press firm into the mat. Feel the length and the strength of the sides of your body. And then soften your shoulder. I always have the tendency to kind of clench the shoulder. Let it drop down into the back. Come back to the breath if you start to kind of lose focus. Draw the navel to the back of the spine. Stay grounded. Two more. Look to the floor, peel both hands down, walk the left foot over a little, so hips width distance, easy twist, right hand stays down, left arm extends up. Steer this left hip back and hug it in. Make sure your knee doesn't wing out. Two shoulders stacked, back leg strong. Block underneath your right hand is always a good option. Contract the glute of your right hamstring and your right thigh. That right leg needs to be really engaged. Drive more weight forward. More breath. Less thinking, more feeling. Look to the floor, take both hands down. Listen carefully. You're gonna stay close to the ground. You're gonna straighten your leg. You're gonna turn your left toes. I'm gonna face towards my fireplace. You can see what I'm doing. What? No, I did it already. Come to your fingertips. Yes. Hands come directly underneath the shoulders. Right hand down, left arm open. So I'm stacked, my feet are wide. I'm in like a Parsva, a separate leg stretching here. Right hand is down, left arm is up. You can place a block underneath your right hand or shoulder if you need a little bit of a lift. Two shoulder blades stacked like side plank and your eyes look up. Keep a little bend behind your knees. Move your weight forward into the balls of your feet. So my energy is moving forward into my fireplace. Yeah, I'm not falling into my fireplace. I'm just keeping my energy going in that direction. Eyes go down, left hand tense directly underneath the left shoulder. Right arm peels open. I go into this twist again. I'm breathing a lot of energy into the sides of my body. And keeping the waist very lifted. Weight is definitely forward into the balls of the feet. Eyes go down, right hand down, pause. Hands come to the hips, legs are gonna stay big and open like this. Start to pull yourself up. So as you come up to stand, I'm facing the same direction, I haven't moved at all. My right foot pivots out to the skinny edge of my mat, my left toes turn in, my arms open up, and I'm gonna sit deep into warrior two, warrior two. Yep. Good. So you can close your eyes for a few breaths, settle into this warrior two, run a lot of energy through your upper body and your torso, turn open your right thigh. You want the sides of your body straight up and down. Let your tailbone, looks good, Margaret, drop down. Inner right thigh, draw it open towards the baby toe so you know you're not going into internal rotation. We're looking for external rotation of your right thigh and hip. Good. Keep the shape of the legs the way that they are in here this morning. Drop your arms. Clasp your hands behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades softly together. Keep the lift of the upper torso. Keep your right thigh drawing open and your left leg strong. Take your clasped hands around your right hip. Yes, your hands stay clasped and your hands draw around your right hip. Just do that. Now you're gonna let go of your right hand and keep your left hand drawing around the hip. The right arm's gonna reach forward, and then go ahead and drop your right arm just on the top of your right thigh. So you're in a modified extended side angle with a half bind. Just do this much to start. Stay lifted with your torso. Keep reaching around with your left hand so you can get maybe the part of the inner thigh. Your arm is very light and soft, so you're not dropping down. If you like to work deeper in here this morning, your hand's gonna pull up on the front of your shin, so you don't even need a block. Pull up on the shin, keep bending into your front thigh, lean back a little, look over your left shoulder. 5 breaths. Feel the weight in your right heel, feel the strength of your left leg. Move your belly towards the sky, look over your left shoulder. There's a hugging of your right hip and glute and a twisting of your ribs. Stay with your breath. Ground through your feet and legs. Don't move the shape of your legs, just unravel your left arm. Let the energy flow to the fingertips. Feel your feet, stay grounded, pull up warrior two, try not to bounce. Hands come to your hips. Straighten your right leg. Keep your hands on your hips, turn your right toes in, turn your left toes out. Yes. Sit into warrior two, open up your arms. So your left leg is extended out, your right leg is turned in, you're in warrior two. Take a moment to just settle in, check in with your alignment. Lengthen the tailbone. Breathe a lot of energy through both your arms. Hug the outer left hip underneath you. Turn up the inner part of your thigh. Close your eyes, 3 breaths before we move on. Keep the shape of your legs. Don't get ahead of yourself. Drop your arms. Interlace your hands. If you could remember your grip, do the opposite. Hug the shoulder blades. Draw the hands down towards the sacrum, towards the floor. Then wrap your arms around. So you're wrapping your hands clasped around to the outside of your left hip. Pause. Wrap the inner thigh open. Yeah. Keep your right hand wrapping. See if you can get hold of your inner left hip. Reach the left arm out. Just do this much. With your left arm, rest it on the top of your thigh. Even if you're an advanced practitioner, do this just this much. Wrap and reach for your inner thigh of your left thigh with your right hand. Let the shoulder draw back. Look over the shoulder. Very light with your left arm. Start to slide your hand down if you want more. There's a pulling up on the front of your shin. Twist your ribs. Look over your right shoulder and hug your left hip underneath you. 5 breaths. You should feel something. So rather than running away from the feeling, right, breathe into it. Keep bending into that front thigh rather than the knee. Release your right arm straight up. Let the energy run to your fingertips. Without too much bounce, warrior two. Straighten your left leg. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn the right foot forward. Step to the top of the mat. Just land your feet here. Stand up tall. Feet together, arms by side body. Draw the arms straight up. Look up a little with your eyes and then sit into a really bold chair. Move your seat all the way back. Yeah, weight is in your heels. There should be a little up dog in your chest. Your arms is as straight as they're gonna go. Fold over your legs. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step, you can float through a vinyasa, it's up to you. Up dog should feel good if you are taking it though. Shouldn't be jamming into your low back. Looks great. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Just for this first one, land your right foot forward. Stay high on the ball of your back foot. Arms out and up, high lunge. Your waist is long, your arms are energized, your gaze moves up a little. We want to try to avoid looking up with our neck. Yeah. Hands come down, plank. You can also move right to a down dog if you prefer. Up dog should feel good, just reminding you. Downward facing dog. Left foot lands, just for this one, high on the ball of your back foot. Rise, high lunge. Hip points are forward, side body is long. Hands come down. Plank, you're pretty much set up for it. So you just step your left foot back, bend your elbows in half, pull yourself through a great up dog. Smile with your eyes. Downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Take a deep breath out. Leave it behind. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Exhale, fold over yourself. Sit into a strong chair. Good. Really sit your chair. Like really sit down into chair. Lower so much that you hit the ground. Legs are going to lift to a 90-degree angle. Toes are going to flex. Arms are going to draw straight up towards the sky this morning. This is my version of boat navasana. Lift from the upper chest. Look up a little with your eyes and just pause here. If you prefer, you can also always have your hands down. Find what works. Cross the ankles, step or float, vinyasa. It's up to you how you want to move here. Chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Land your right foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. As your arms reach out and up, you can have them separated, shoulder width distance, or you can draw them to a prayer, a little forward. Right hip steers back, left thigh turns forward, as does the waist. Hands come down, plank position. Chaturanga, upward facing, drag yourself through. Downward facing. Left foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. The arms can sweep up and just stay shoulder width distance, or they can come a little forward into a prayer so the sides of the body hug in. Hands come down, plank. Bend your elbows in half if that feels good. Up dog. Fire up your thighs. Nice, Katie. Downward facing dog, be still. Deep breath in. Exhale, breath out. Look where you want to go. Step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath. Weight is forward. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair with excitement. Yeah, your seat moves back. Your weight is in your heels. So really start to sit, but do it slow. So as you start to sit, you're really staying in your legs and your core. And then the legs lift and the arms stay up. Uttanasana. Flex your toes, lift your torso, draw your navel in. Use all of those core side body muscles to keep you lifted. Lift a little higher. Cross the ankles. If you have a float back, you're welcome to do it. If not, just step, step, plank, bend your elbows in half, upward facing, downward facing. Keep moving, ladies. And if there's any gentlemen, right foot forward, back foot on a strong angle, warrior one. Hands come down, plank, chaturanga, upward facing, slides you through, downward facing back, left foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. You should feel good at this point, hopefully. Hands come down, plank, chaturanga, upward facing dog, downward facing dog, be still, let it go. Keep breathing your hips up off your shoulders right here. Plug down into the mat, look where you want to go, step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale breath, weight stays forward ideally. Exhale, fold. Sit again into a chair, weight moves into your heels. Yeah, really sit. Like really sit here, but we're not going to boat. You're gonna bend your legs really, really deeply. Plant your palms out in front of you, give yourself a little space. It looks like we're setting up for crow, but we're not. Keep bending, bend your elbows from here. Float to a chaturanga. Upward facing, downward facing. Right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. Hands come down, plank. Vinyasa or not, it's up to you. When you get to your down dog, step your left foot forward, turn your back foot strong, warrior one. Nice, hands come down, vinyasa. Upward facing, point. Downward facing dog, back. Let it go, we're gonna do one more. Building a lot of good heat in here this morning. Look where you wanna land, step or float, feet to the top. Long spine on the inhale, exhale, fold, sit to chair. Really sit, yeah. So bend your legs deep, keep your feet together, plant your palms. This time, you're gonna split your knees apart for crow. So we're kind of building up to it, using our core, upper body. Knees separate, feet stay together, plant your palms, get your knees high up in your upper arms, shift your weight forward, and then practice lifting one foot, maybe the other. Hug into the center line, round your spine. If you have a jump back, take it. If not, just step, step to plank. Bend your elbows in half, chaturanga. Up dog. Nice work, downward facing dog. One more time today, right foot forward, back foot strong, warrior one. Should be sweating a little. Hands down, plank. Chaturanga, upward facing. Nice work, downward facing, left foot lands, back foot strong, warrior one. Hands come down, plank, vinyasa or not. Meet me in a down dog and hold for 3 breaths. A good thing to do in down dog is spread your toes wide. Yeah. Reconnect with your breath. This is a moving meditation. Here we go. You're gonna roll forward to plank. Right knee, right tricep. Yep, just in the general direction. If it doesn't touch, that's okay. Keep moving your eyes forward, wrap the sides of your body in, hug your right knee straight in. Hug it in. Scoop out your belly. Land your right foot smack forward. Come to your fingertips, pause. Yeah, so this can always be taken with your back knee down. Keep that in mind. Arms kind of sweep up to a high lunge, crescent lunge. It's all about breath, balance, focus. Right heel drives into the mat, back leg strong, waist is lifted. Arms slide forward towards the front edge of your mat. Just your arms, not your whole torso, like you're holding something. Outer triceps firm in. Wrap your left arm under. If something's going on in your shoulder and this is unavailable, your hands can always just be in a prayer. Rather than driving your elbows down and pulling on the joint, lift the elbows up. It's going to stretch the upper shoulder blades. Pause. Feel the weight in the standing right heel on the right leg. Keep bending into it. Sweep the left leg around into eagle. Now balance may not be so pretty, so just work with it. Squeeze your arms, squeeze your legs, and drive your right heel into the mat. Let your seat move back. Your waist stay long, and your eyes stay forward. Now really sit here. Squeeze everything super tight. And then into this pose, we're going to begin to fold a little into what we call sleeping eagle, which I'm convinced is a made-up pose. So as you come down, maybe just come down a little. Yeah. Keeping everything very, very tight here. You're going to unravel very slowly into half moon. So just reaching for your block if you have it nearby. Place it directly underneath your right shoulder and unravel. And if it wasn't so pretty, you just meet us here, half moon. The goal is to keep your right foot forward, your hip gripping underneath you, and stacking the 2 shoulders on top of one another. Look up with your eyes, spark up your left toes, lift from your inner thigh. If you'd like to add the Chopasana today, you're welcome to do so. Reach back with your left hand, bend at your knee crease, grab your ankle. It should happen relatively naturally. Soften behind your right knee. The kick goes behind you, the shoulder draws back into the socket, and your eyes look up. Turn the bottom ribs towards the sky. Nice work. If you took a bind, just release into a regular half moon and just stay here. A few more breaths. Look down, place the left hand down, square your hips and pause. Step your feet together. Sit into chair, weight moves into your heels, arms reach up energetically. Dig the heels into the mat. Slide the hands to a prayer. Inhale the breath, hook the left elbow to the outside of the right knee and twist. 2 knees and feet and shins stay lined up nicely, waist stays long. Open up your arms if you want more, stay as you are. Keep moving that energy back. Squeeze the inner thighs. Keep the weight in your heels, pull around to a chair, look forward. Dig your heels into the mat. Kind of the nitty-gritty right here. Lift your waist, lift your chest, press to stand, drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, be still for a sec. Hands come to your hips, slide your left foot back about maybe 3.5, 4 feet, depending on your length of your legs. Walk the right foot a little to the right, so it's about hips width distance. Right hand stays on your hip, left arm extends up. So the action's coming from your back leg and your back arm. Really lengthen up, ground with that back heel, come forward halfway. Use your right hand to pull your hip back and then come the rest of the way down. A block is great here, any level that works for you so that your shoulder is in the socket in the right place. Right hand, the flat part of your back, or right arm up. Steer your hips and your waist towards the back edge of your mat, and then look up with your eyes. All the little muscles around your back left kneecap, squeeze them tight. Throw a little bit more breath in. Stay connected. So sometimes you hold these poses and your mind starts to wander. Come back. Look to the floor, place both hands down. Step back through a vinyasa. Yep, bend your elbows in half. Pull yourself through a good bold up dog. Yeah, downward facing dog. Here we go, roll forward to plank. One more time here, not forever, just right now in this moment. Take your left knee, left tricep, just in the general direction. Plug down. Keep your eyes moving forward. Hug your knee straight in. Scoop out your belly and round in. Look forward, land your left foot forward and through. Activate your back leg. Sit deep into your front thigh. Come on up, high lunge. Work out your balance, your breath, your focus. Maybe you need to give yourself a pep talk, whatever it is. Hip points forward, waist is long. Activate that back leg if the knee is lifted from the ground. Reach your arms forward. Just do this much. Hug in with the outer triceps. Yeah. Wrap the right arm underneath the left arm. Lift the elbows up. So many times in these poses, we're in a rush to go to the next thing. I don't know what the next thing is, so we're just gonna be in this thing right here. Squeeze in, lift the elbows. Now, sit deep into your front thigh. Start to move intentionally into eagle, but do it slow. And it may not be pretty, so wrap the right leg around. Cut yourself some slack. Squeeze in tight. Lift the elbows up. Think of the lower half of the body in a chair. So your hips need to evenly move back and your weight is in your heels. Yeah, eyes are forward. Calm mind, calm breath. Now keep all this and just start to come forward a little. Come forward a little bit. Yeah, maybe your elbows hook over the front of the knee. It's up to you how deep you want to go. Now staying very close to the ground, you're going to start to unravel into half moon. I definitely need a block to do this. Focus on your left leg, ripping that hip in, keeping your foot forward. Right arm stacks over the left shoulder. Lift from your inner thigh. Spark up your right toes. If you want to add the bind, it's up to you. If it feels good in your practice, you bend at your knee, grab your ankle. The kick is natural and goes behind you. Soften the front knee a little. Take your bottom ribs, turn them up. Look off your right shoulder. Grip that left hip underneath you. Stay with this. If you bound that top leg, come back to a basic half moon. Join us here. You're still in half moon, hang with it. Stay engaged, stay focused, look down. Right hand comes to the floor, square the hips. Slide the feet together to touch. Sit into a deep chair. I'm getting a lot of excitement from your little boxes. Yeah, really drop down. Drag the hands to prayer. Inhale the breath. Hook the elbow and twist. If someone could come up with a way that the Zoom boxes showed like enthusiasm, right? Like they bounced around the screen. Watch the knees. Make sure they don't slide past one another. Keep digging the heels into the floor. Yeah, and then twist from your ribs. Open up your arms if you want, or just stay as you are. Couple more. Stay really strong in your legs. Pull around to a chair. Dig your heels, drop your seat, look forward. Nice, Katie. Press up to stand, drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms, let it go. Hands to your hips, keep the left foot where it is, step your right foot back. Then when you get back, you may need to walk your left foot a little to the left. Keep hips width distance. Left hand stays strong in your hip, right arm reaches up. Remember, back leg drives the pose. So come down halfway, pause. Use your left hand to steer the hip back and then find your way into twisting triangle. You don't have a block, you can always just place your hand on your shin. Focus on a straight right arm though, and then left hand comes to the flat part of the back. Steer the hips back, anchor the back leg, and then maybe stack the two shoulders and look up. Back leg strong, front leg can have a little bend in it. A little bit more breath. See what you can find here. Feel your outer hips. Grip them underneath you. 2 more. Look down, take both hands to the floor. This time I want you to step your right foot to the top edge of your mat. Come to the fingertips, long spine, bring your hands to your hips, and come up the rest of the way. Standing on your left leg, hug your right knee in. Grab your big toe or just the front of your knee. You have a choice. Choices are good here in life and yoga practice. If you have the leg extension, hinge the right leg forward. Left arm will float up. Straight out in front of you though, not off to the side. Draw the right shoulder back into the socket. Ground the left standing leg. Pull the thigh bone back. Lift up with your waist. Keep the right leg forward, switch the grip. Now, grabbing the outer edge of your foot for the dancing Shiva is always the option, and then reaching your right arm back and looking back. If this right leg doesn't want to go forward today, bend your leg in half, grab the outer part of your thigh, but focus on standing up really tall. It's the same pose, just giving you options here. Lengthen and breathe. Grip your left thigh bone in a little bit more and lengthen through the crown of your head. Look forward with your eyes. Keep the leg up and forward if possible and arms up. Lift from your inner thigh, from your belly, from your waist. Lower the right foot down, hands to prayer. Move your energy onto your right leg. Stay with this, guys. Bend your left leg in half. This may be as far as you go, below the kneecap, right hand on hip. If you can grab your big toe, grab it with a peace sign grip. Extend your left leg straight forward, not off to the side, straight out in front of you. Hug your hips in, slide your right arm up. Let your left shoulder blade draw back into the socket. Get out of the lower back by pressing into the standing leg and lengthen up more. Keep the left leg where it is, switch the grip. Leg can stay straight out in front of you, or you can bend your left leg in half. Reach back with your left leg. My standing right leg has a little bend to it. Totally fine. Leg that's moving forward can have a little bend to it or a lot of a bend. Grip your right hip underneath you, stay with it. Keep the leg lifted. Look forward with your eyes. See if you can get your leg to stay up and lifted, both arms up. Lift a little higher. Lower the left foot down. Drag your hands to prayer. Drop your arms. One more time today. Sweep your arms up. Go big. Dive over bent knees. Forward fold. Come to the fingertips, long spine. You can step. You can float through vinyasa. Move through an up dog if that feels good. Take a downward facing dog. Right foot lands, back heel stays lifted, crescent lunge, or back knee can come down. Hip points are forward, drag your hands to prayer. You know what's coming. Inhale the breath, lean out in front of you just a little and hook the elbow. Crescent twist. If you feel you have a more efficient crescent twist with your back knee down, make sure the knee isn't driving into the mat. The leg should be on an angle. Hug the outer hip in, twist from the upper ribs, and then look up. Open up your arms if you want a little bit more, but grip your right heel onto the mat and your hip under you. Scissor your inner and outer thighs in. Nice, Margaret. Really good. Activate that left leg, Katie, a little more. Nice, Nancy. Beautiful job, Kristen. Yeah, lean back a tiny bit more, Tracy, and you're going to be in great shape. And then come back to your breath. And if possible, try to enjoy it. I say that with a big smile. Two more. Drive more weight forward and feel the strength of your back leg if it's lifted. Look down with your eyes, place both hands down, pause. So if you can see here, I'm going to take my right hand around my back of my right ankle. If this isn't for you, you're just going to use a block to the side of your foot, okay? I'm going to stay very close to my front leg. Tense your left fingertips. I'm going to begin to float my leg up. So it's a little bit more of an Ashtanga standing split. So I'm drawing my torso over the front of the thigh. My hand is behind my heel, and my back leg is lifted only hip height. The goal is to draw the torso, my belly, directly over the front thigh and letting my head go. Soften the shoulders, breathe some energy into your inner and outer thighs, and lift a little higher. Giant step back with your left foot. You got it. Nice work. Plant the palms. Extend your right leg up and back to a three-legged down dog. Flex the foot. If it feels good for you here, bend the knee and open the hip a little. If it doesn't for your low back, like Tracy, I wouldn't open up the hip. I keep everything very neutral. If lower back is sensitive, I'm doing the sensitive option if you need that option. And then look forward with your eyes and swing your right knee forward. Thank gosh, half pigeon. Yeah. And then fold into bliss. If this is blissful for you, if this is not blissful for you, go onto your back and take ankle to knee, thread the needle, let yourself just melt. Turn the left thigh down, get the top of the left foot to make sure it's matching the ground. The last little bit of this, really enjoy just like the sound of your breath, like hearing it, even if it's subtle. Downward facing dog, just step back. If you feel you need a vinyasa to kind of clean that up, go for it. If not, just find down dog. And from your downward facing dog, you'll land your left foot forward and come up one last time today into a crescent lunge. If you need to drop your knee, please do so. Feel your left thigh slide back into the hip socket. Get out of the knee. Hands to prayer. Inhale the breath, lean out in front of you a little, and then hook the elbow and twist. Yes. Back leg strong. You can open up your arms. I have Kristen, she was doing it with the one arm back, which is a great way to take it because it really gets the shoulder to slide into the socket. And something really nice happens with the torso. It gets you long. Scissor the inner thighs, activate the back leg. Lean back, Margaret, a tiny bit towards your back right leg. Yeah, that's going to give you the space. And then drive the crown of the head forward so it matches your back heel. Feel the weight in the standing heel. Stay with it. 2 more breaths. If you reach back with your left arm, just match it back to a prayer. Look down with your eyes. Take both hands to the floor and pause. Just pause here in this low lunge. Keep the right hand tented. Another option is to slide a block underneath the hand if the floor is too far. Take your left arm and grip it behind your ankle. Float the back leg up and fold over your front leg. So my right hand is tented directly underneath my right shoulder. My right inner thigh is lifting up only hip height. And my left arm is behind my calf as I kind of scoop it up. My stomach is over the front of the thigh, my head is hanging soft, and my shoulders relaxed. Stay with it. Giant step back into that low lunge. Nice work. Plant the palms and slide the left leg back to a 3-legged down dog. Do it very slowly so you can feel. Bend your knee and open the hip a little bit or a lot, depending on you and your low back. Look forward, land your left knee forward, half pigeon. Stay with the last little bit of this, guys. You're almost done. Fold over your front leg. Connecting to your back right leg. Make sure the thigh, the right foot stays grounded and down. Last little. Forearms are going to come down to the ground. Back leg's going to go strong. Fire up the right leg. Keep your pelvis and your hips neutral to the ground. Slide your left leg back into a forearm plank. 10 solid breaths here in forearm plank. If you want to go up into an inversion, a handstand, a forearm stand, a headstand, something that's going to elevate you, do that now. If not, just stay here, forearm plank. Lengthen your tailbone, drive the forearms into the ground, draw your belly and your waist up. Hold. Last 3. Drop to your knees, drop your seat back, child's pose, everybody. Good. Press up onto all fours, just swing your legs out in front of you and lay down. 2 back bends to kind of wrap up our show here. So bend your knees. If you feel like you're open to go right into a full wheel, you'll set yourself up for that. If you prefer bridge or supported bridge, bend your legs in half, fingertips skim the backs of your heels, your tailbone lifts. You can clasp your hands, shimmy the shoulders underneath, or opt for a block. Any direction underneath your low back can work today. Yeah. If you're going up into a full wheel, flip your palms, bring your chin to your chest. Take a giant breath in. Looks great, Katie. Bring your feet just a little bit closer together. There you go. Exhale the breath, come down. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. So guys, I'm going to give you one other option if you're going into just a bridge pose or supported bridge. And this isn't for everybody. If you're able to grab the front of your ankles, you can try and do that. So walk your feet in a little closer, take a giant breath in, and then you'll grab onto your ankles and lift yourself up that way. Yes, there's a hugging in of your outer hips, your thighs turn down and under, your feet must stay forward. If you're going up into a full wheel, lengthen from the tailbone to the backs of the knees, let your head go. Exhale the breath. When you're ready, come out with control. When you hit the ground, let your lower back drop down. Good, slide your left leg straight forward and just hug your right knee straight in. Hug it straight in. Yeah. Take your right leg and drop it over to the left for a supine twist. Right arm's gonna cactus. Now, if you have the space today, you can straighten out your right leg and give yourself a little bit more of an IT band stretch. Come up to center, relax the right leg out. One more time today, hug the left knee in, give it a super duper squeeze. Drop it over to the right. Yeah, you might need to do a little shimmying if you want to get that IT band stretch. The leg has to go out in the same line of energy as your hip. Left shoulder must stay down. Come up to center. Give your knees a giant squeeze in. And then find your way into Shavasana, complete rest. The hardest pose to do at home, I am aware, but set yourself up for the next minute or two. Block underneath your head, something over your eyes. Exhale your breath and let your whole body melt. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale loudly out through your mouth. Bring your arms slowly up over the top of the head. If you need more time, then just check out. You can just ignore me. Hug your knees slowly in towards your chest. Wrap your arms around the fronts of your shins. And in your own way, rock yourself up to sit. Sit up really tall. And I challenge you to see if you can keep your eyes closed for the last moments of this practice. And as you sit up in this body, just feel your body, because this is your space. This is your home. Your body is your home. And you're in your home, so it's kind of a unique situation. So just be grateful for all the good stuff we have. Hands to prayer. Bow your head. And then we lift our head, open our eyes. With gratitude, we say namaste. Thanks for joining me, guys. I'm back at it Friday, 9:30, and Saturday this week is 8:30 a.m. for those early risers. See you soon.
Thanks, Julie.
You're welcome.
Good morning.
Have a great afternoon.
You too.